This video is sponsored by Next Level Playing, my new intermediate guitar course that takes you through 7 levels of nothing but fun and sweet guitar goodness that everyone wants and needs to learn. Thank you. Check it out at nextlevelplaying.com. Have fun in the video. Ow. I was browsing some classics here on YouTube and a song came by that had these 3 comments right on top. Only Jesus can play this riff. And that riff is so good but so annoyingly to play, LOL. And how the hell is he able to play that riff at full tempo and sing backing vocals at the same time? John is simply incredible. I scrolled down a bit and it went on. John makes this riff look so easy. Every guitarist knows what I'm talking about and has to be the hardest song to play on a guitar. Is it really that hard though? The song is Snow Hey Oh by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, played by John Frusciante, and is based around the following chords: G sharp minor, E, B and F sharp. But what Frusciante plays is a little more complicated than that, and I think we can break it down into 4 reasons why people consider this a difficult riff that supposedly only Jesus can play. Reason 1. The chord shapes. John strips down all the chords to the bare essentials until we have something left that is called a triad. The 3 unique notes that make up a major or a minor chord. This is a bit technical, but those 3 notes are the root, the 3rd and the 5th. And when played together, they form a chord. How nice. Usually when playing chords, the root note is the lowest sounding of the 3. It's the foundation of the chord. But that first chord that John plays does not start on that root note. It starts on the 5th. And then goes up, followed by the root and the 3rd. This is called an inversion. These notes from the chord are played in a rising order, and this we call an arpeggio. You play the notes in a row instead of at the same time. The 4th note goes down again, creating this little pattern, which is the backbone of this entire riff. If we move this pattern to the next chord, we have this shape. E major chord. We call this the C shape because it's based on an open C major chord. And if you're a guitar player that can remember picking up that guitar for the first time, think back to how that C chord sounded like. I think it sounded something like this. Yeah, right. Only freaking noobs have problems with the C major chord. Yes, but now we have the same chord, but not as an open chord that played higher up the neck, making it harder because there's no open string anymore. Still not mega difficult, but moving up quickly from that first G sharp minor chord to that E major chord can easily result into dead notes under the fingertip. So after that E, we move the entire chord shape 1 string up. Now the B is the root note, so we get a B major chord. And then we go to the F sharp chord over here, same story, F sharp major. The second time around, we end with a different chord shape. Again, an inversion we talked about, but now we start on the 3rd of the triad, F sharp major. So there were the chord shapes. Can be difficult, sure, but it's nothing compared to what's coming next. Reason 2, the tempo. This riff loses all the magic when you don't play it at the right tempo, which is 104 BPM. Playing at this tempo means the following. There are 4 notes per beat, plus every other beat an extra note that we'll get to in a minute. So it's 9 notes per 2 beats, means 4.5 notes at 104 beats per minute, resulting into 468 notes played each minute. And that means a staggering 7.8 notes per second. What? And to prove that, here is the track. Let's select just the first second. Over here. Let's play it very slowly and count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and almost 9. So many notes in just 1 second, and that rate keeps on going well into the 1 minute 30 mark. That's crazy. Fun fact, by the way, this guitar is only playing on the right channel, which you can see over here. The guitar, no sound at all. So this is pretty extraordinary for such a classic riff. Usually you put the highlights right in the center, but I think that's done to make space for the vocals in the middle. After all, it's quite a lot of notes fighting for attention together with that vocal line from Anthony Kiedis. That can be very tiresome to listen to. Try keeping up that tempo for this long. That's quite a challenge, but let's be honest, it's definitely not the fastest riff out there, so why is it so difficult? That's due to the following. Reason 3. The picking. The best way to get these single notes from these arpeggio sound as clean as possible and to keep it at that speed for that long is to alternate pick everything. This means we alternate between a down pick and an up pick without any exception. This results into an interesting movement happening when we jump between the second and the third note of each chord. It is a movement that is infamous for being extremely difficult to properly execute at high speeds. It's called inside picking. It's when the movement of the pick is in the opposite direction of the direction your hand is heading. Because this riff starts with a down pick, the second note is up and the third note is down again, like this. Down, up, down. That up, down on the D and G strings is where things get tricky. Our pick makes the upwards direction motion on the D string, but then needs to quickly move to the G string, which is played down. So we need to jump over that D string, but now without hitting it to reach that G string. So after we played that G, we need to go back to that D string again, but now we have the exactly same issue. We pick that G string down, but now we go back to the D string and we need to jump over that G string again. So that's two pretty difficult movements right after each other at that speed. If it goes too fast, here is that movement up to speed, but then slow down to 25% to let you see exactly how accurate this micro movement needs to be here. So I now hope you can see why it is pretty hard to get down. But you didn't think this was it, right? No way, because the most characteristic element of this riff isn't discussed yet. Reason 4. The hammer-ons. In between of those ostensibly basic chords, he does a very rapid hammer-on technique. This means you hit one string with the pick and right after that you hammer on with another finger on the same string without picking it again. The key to getting this just right is timing, or better, synchronization between the left and the right hands. Just a fraction of a second too early or too late and it doesn't have the same effect and it all falls apart. 1, 2, 3, 4. But that's still not all there is to it, because we also need to be accentuating that hammer-on by hitting the string quite a bit louder actually than the other notes. This creates the feel of a backbeat. Those hammer-ons create an accent on the second and the fourth beat of the bar. Listen to it. And to quote Chuck Berry, it's got a backbeat, you can't lose it. This riff just makes you bob your head, right? So adding these dynamics in there is the finishing touch to get it all right. So altogether it should sound something like this. So to answer the question, is it really hard? Without any doubt, it is difficult to get down fluently. if so many people say it, it is just a fact that there's loads of people struggling with it, judging by all of these comments over here. But yes, there is a but. I do not think it is that difficult though. It's definitely not the most difficult, if such a thing even exists. And I think it holds this mythical status of being extremely hard because the song was in the charts. It's really popular amongst a way bigger scene. And let's be honest, how often do we hear a real challenging guitar part in popular music? Usually it's 4 chords with a little strumming pattern. So seeing this finger twister in there results into what I think is a false comparison. So to sum it up, yes, it is really tricky. But with a good amount of practice and using proper techniques like I explained in this video, I think you can get there. So do not give up if you try this. And if you plan on playing this, do it. Keep at it and you'll get there. I am absolutely positive. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, click that like button, do it gently and leave your comment in the comment section. I really like reading all you have to say. If you want to support this kind of video and support me, you can do so at my Patreon page. The link is in the description. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Cheers.